you could argue this last year, if you're looking at the biggest influential technology, that's probably AI, right? I think that's probably indisputable, right? And it's funny how a lot of people look at it differently. Some people are concerned about its impact on their livelihood and jobs because it's going to do more. And then I think the other way that people look at it is kind of with a growth mindset, which is AI is a productivity enhancer. And so individuals and businesses that learn to utilize it in their business will be at an advantage over individuals in business that don't. So I'm excited to listen to this talk and learn more about what ways we can utilize AI to improve that. Turn this time over to you.
Thank you. So again, hope I will be interesting enough. I know I'm stopping you from eating lunch. It's always a hard spot to start the presentation just before lunch. So first of all, a few words about myself. So a little bit about myself. I'm Shlomi Gutman, coming here from Israel. I've been in the VoIP industry for the last almost 17 years. Like I remember my first AstriCon was probably 15 years ago, where we got our premier award on our first cloud dialers. It was somewhere here with Nir Simanovic that was working with us back then. Generally, we are a very open source oriented company. We are trying to do contribute to a lot of projects. We are being part of the core developers and community of OpenSIPs and other wonderful projects as Omer, Quarin, Janus. We are now working a lot on making Janus as the SFF media engine of OpenSIPs and a lot of other very nice project and excited thing that we are all working with the community. Really being a part of this open source community for the last 15, 17 years was been really amazing journey. We are really the community is growing from year to year, great friendships, and really advise all of you to take more and more action about the different type of project up there beside the asterisks that we are all using. A little bit about Voicenter. Was started back then in 2007. We were being one of the first cloud VoIP provider up then. And the journey that we made between a simple calling card company to being a full stack call center over the cloud with video and messaging and all of those stuff, it's been part of the journey of our life, and we will speak about it more later. Our offices is mostly located in Israel, US, Ukraine, and some other countries. Generally here in the US, we are working with our office ring subdaughter. You all more than welcome to come say hello. We are having our booth in 662 in All One. If any of you want to discuss technology or any other cooperation, we are down there, and please join us. So generally, the name of the lecture, VoIP 3, it's a little bit big, I know, but it's really feel for us that there is like a different side of revolution. There are like different things that happening in the industry, and they change our responsibility. They change the things that we should do and the things that we should care about. So if we will started from a simple VoIP company and during the years made some integration and later add all of the WebRTC and all of the revolution of working from home and all what the COVID brought for us was a part of the revolution of all of our industry that now being in the new challenge, with the challenge of and the responsibility and the tools of giving a great AI output from our communication. It's not more, if until now all of our responsibility was about connecting people, Now we have the right tools to analyze it, to really give more value about it. And this is something we should all consider and understand in how we should act and how we should give more values to our customers based on those technologies. So when we are talking about the VoIP tree and when we are talking about what are those characterization and what are the tools that we are having, so of course, first of all, is the collection of all of the data. Pretty much transcription was there already. I think like the first demo of Talk to Your Asterisk was being done with this PHP library probably 12 years ago or even 13. So there is nothing really new about the ability to transcribe. What is new is the ability to take this transcription, and with all of this revolution of the language modem, we really have a new interface in front of computer. We really have a way for the computer to understand what we are saying, to understand how we are acting, and with all of the deep learning methodologies that there is today, there is much more abilities and values that we can give. So first of all, of course, it's collecting all of the information and analyze it in the right way. Then we are talking about all of the language module voice bot, the ability actually to, if we were amazed by our ability to start talking with ChatGPT, I have a good friend that told me that GPT understands him much better than his wife, but so generally like computer can understand us now, and those ideas that that we can understand, that we want to say something and the computer can understand us, really change the way that we are interacting with computer. After that, beside like really understanding what the customers want, the ability to talk to him and have, we'll discuss it later, there is like a very ongoing efforts of the community in Hugging Face to create what's called personal voice font. So each one of us, after speaking enough hours over the phone, the system already knows his voice and can speak on his behalf. And this combination of understanding the customers and being able to talk instead of the agent, going to create us a lot of great lazy agent person. But so the last thing I will talk about is all about human video analytics. Anything from whiteboard to really psychology analytics of a salesperson, really understanding how much times I'm touching my face, really giving me the right pattern of language, of body language that actually brings sales. So all of those stuff is really about the revolution. So when we are speaking about really collecting all of the data, it's not only about collecting it, it's about also pushing it forward to the CRMs, to the other information system, because the ability really to get all of the data and correlate it with other stuff that we have in the organization is the one that gives us the value. When we're talking about Asterisk and AI transcription, it's very important to do the recording over stereo. Like one of the main mistakes that people are doing over the recording is about recording the mixed monitor and not splitting left and right channel. The ability of any language module transcription agent to be able to recognize and split the two voices are much harder than if we are splitting it in the beginning. So this is a very important thing. It doesn't really matter in which engine are you working, if it's Whisper, faster Whisper, Google tools, Azure tools. I can recommend we are using Banafo. It's a great tools of transcription. But any tools that you will work with will really need to have the file in a split way. After we are having the transcription, the values that we are getting, first is really to have the conversation, to understand what each side was telling to each side. But beside that, we are having the ability to do emotion and semantical analytics about each pairs, about each word that you are saying. And especially what is really important is about seeing the reaction of the other sides to different sentence the different agents are saying. So after learning enough on each call center, on each of our customers, we really already building the pattern of what making the customer being upset, what make them want to ask for a manager, what make them curse or anything like that. And by those all abilities to transcribe everything and collect everything, we can really give much better training and much better information about our organizations and for our clients to become much better. One other view that people like is really to see the graph of the emotions, to see on each part of the calls who was saying what, and really understanding, like trying to figure out on each call, on the micro view, what was going on and what make everyone sad or not. Other great information that we are giving, and actually like for most of our clients, the most important thing was getting the summary. Because if we think about that, on each 10-minute conversation or even 3-minute conversation of a user, of an agent in a call center, then he's spending around half a minute to a minute to summarize the talk and put it inside of the CRM. And the ability to already summarize it, given the main points of the main issue, the main solution, all of those wouldn't be there without all of the great language models that we have today. So it doesn't really matter, like we are using a lot OpenAI GPT, we are using also a lot of great language models that can be up there on Hugging Face from the community. Depends on the language, depends of the needs of each, even the industry. We found out different industry having different model. For example, we are using a spatial LLM module for all of our telemedicine solution. So anything that need any text that need analytics from a medicine perspective, we found out that there is much better, that the open source LLMs of the medicine world are much more effective than any other. So it's really about choosing the right tools to do the job that might be different between different industries. So this is another important thing to say. And another important thing that we are doing is really giving all of this data as part of our integrations. As I was saying, the ability of pushing this data inside of CRMs, inside of information system, inside of, we have like collection agencies that are using us to make sure they are compliant. There is a lot of compliance things and a lot of stuff that you can save really a lot of people that doing compliance and a full departments that can probably be replaced and even be done the stuff in a better way. Because nobody, if you have some specific words or sentences that you should not allow to be saying for a customer, no one can really go and listen to 100% of the calls. But in this way you are, and you are raising flag for any violation of any federal or any country with its own regulation on each field. So really giving this information, pushing it to other systems, it's very important. We are working a lot with Make, if you know, Zapier or any other integration tools So one of the things is really that each one of the systems coming with each one of our clients coming with their own CRM within all systems, and our ability really to do very simple drag and drop and implement those through those all of no-code, low-code optimization tools that are there today are a different era, because it's not about only generating the data, it's about also pushing the data and correlating it in front of the business data. So we can really give the customer the understanding what the words that they should use, because usually us as a communication system, we don't have the concept of what being a good sale, what being a good call, which customers left the company after which calls. And by correlating all of those data in front of the CRMs, then the synergy between the IT world and the communication world becoming much, much higher. So, yeah, that's pretty much true. Another very important thing, it's about really giving the right data sets. So a lot of the time we are seeing that like we are getting wrong behavior from AI, especially because the data wasn't being there in the right way. And if we are not marking the right data sets over our data, we don't really can see the full picture. And a lot of the time we are just learning wrong or offering Kramer the wrong movie. Anyway. When we are talking about the voice bot world, it's really like being a big challenge, I think, for all of us. It's like being also a community effort for all of us. We are few projects working on it together. And it's really about first getting all of the hands-free IVR and giving, especially in specific industries. For example, we have in Israel, the biggest the competitor of Uber, which when the customers call in, it's very important for them, for the customer to not call, to the driver to not need to start pressing DTMF. And really the ability, and until now, if we were doing like those voice bot, probably are there from the late 90s, but especially, I must tell you, as someone with a very bad accent, by the way, none of those voice bots was ever understood in me. Because like you need to be in a very specific keyboard match and not intent match. And today with, again, language models, the systems understand us much better, and they, even if we are not having a perfect language, the perfect language, we still can, the bot still can understand us. Also, important thing to say is about integrating those voice bot into the CRMs themselves. So today when a customer calls, we already usually know all about him. And if we will get the information from the CRM about who he is, categorize him in the right way, first of all, we can give him all of the relevant information, but we will be able to understand him much better. We will if we know that he have like these 3 type of issue in the last year, then it will be easier for us to try guess what does he want from us. So the ability really to integrate the information, not just pushing information inside of the CRM, also pulling the information for the CRM to get much better customer journey in front of the organization when he's calling him. Also, again, a lot of stuff that we are doing more and more from the voice bot is about giving the ability of doing automation and create stuff. So, for example, if you want just to get a last invoice or like we have those, probably each organization have 80% of the requests that are coming to him under like a very specific stuff that we can automate them. So the ability, for example, we have like insurance company that the moment that you are calling them, we already know that your insurance is up to be done, and we already given you all of the exec's voice bot to renew it. So it's really about understanding also who are the customers that call in which scenario, and how we can customize those voice bot in a better way for them to use it. There is a big effort for it in the world over the chatbot, but the chatbot was mostly by giving the ability in the end to press a button. Most of chatbots giving you in menus, so you are being able to be more specific. And like DTMF is some kind of like the menu inside of the chatbot, but all the idea is really to take the DTMF and make it much more human reaction, so people will not be really feeling that they are speaking into machine. And this is a challenge that we are all working on, and I guess this is going to be part of the roadmap of most of open source projects and commercial companies in the next few years. Another thing that I was speaking about is really about how to make those specific voice per agent. So the idea is, again, to be able to slice and understand exactly the sounds of an agent and analyze how does he will say any word. And as much as we analyzing the sound of a specific agent, we can really build the specific module for him that will give us the ability to later. So it's pretty much like the combination of first learning how this guy is saying stuff, then learning how all of the word saying and building like it's all about the data sets. And again, this is the amazing thing about Hugging Face, that like it's really like for us as the open source guys, having this Hugging Face platform, having the ecosystem of developers putting their own modules, and then we can really learn for each one of the agent his own personal module, and then compile it all to have like a specific voice of a specific agent. It's something that it's work on the way. Like there is a Hugging Face great article for who is interested in this field, but again, it's a wonderful thing that's being done as a community effort, and we all should enjoy it in the near future. So this is pretty much about like the voice. Another thing that is being very huge now, it's about anything that we can do about analyzing our video. So we are heavily using TensorFlow, if anyone knows it. It's a Google neural network library, which have inside of it a specific library that called BodyFix. And what BodyFix is doing is actually recognize a body part on each one of the pictures that there is. So for us, the first use of BodyFix was actually just doing a whiteboard, just doing a blue board, like the ability of removing background. So just if I know to recognize what are my body parts, I can just put it over a canvas and remove any of my other stuff. And then later we actually have like the ability of doing whiteboard and explaining based on the whiteboard while you are writing on him, and other stuff like that. But much more interesting stuff that there is really the ability to learn the behavior of a salesperson. Like, so, two examples that I would like to share. Oh, let me see. So over here, oh, you can see each time that I'm touching my face is like, so the idea is really to be able to analyze different human body languages and to tell the agent, listen, you are touching your face or anything like that, or if you are not looking straight on the camera, there is a lot of AI now that giving agent the ability that make them always look straight on the camera. Even if I'm looking for the side, it still know how to change my face and put it on the camera. So really the idea of being generally analyzing the body parts of yours is being able to give a lot of different application based on it. Another example. So generally, as you can see, like body, we know how to really, each part of my body is given in a different color, and really the ability of even like, you know, doing, making like a sign that if I'm taking my hands 5 times like this, do something. So any kind of automation based on movement, based on other stuff, like really giving us, based on the real-time communication era, the ability to do more and more automation and a lot of interesting stuff that we can do through the ear. So, any questions? Thank you so much for your attention. Any question, anyone? The what? Telemedicine. So especially like, you know, seeing if someone moving very hysterical, maybe like you can see a lot of those kind of stuff. There is a lot of usage that we are, again, about just transcription. And so there is a few different use cases for the telemedicine. We have like few projects now, especially with all of the remote medicine. I think like again, COVID was changing the way that we are consuming our health services, and there is a lot of things there. Up to even, you know, we have one hospital that are using us for auditing operations room. So anyone just say what he's doing, and then we transcribing everything, and they being able to track the operation. So it's really a lot of different kind of application which can be pursued by that. Yes. Yeah, of course. So in the, yeah, anything else? Yeah, I can. Okay. So as you asked, like, I will repeat the question for you guys. So first of all, she was really telling about how we are showing and doing the dashboard and everything. So yeah, we have dashboard where we are analyzing all of it, but it is very important to understand that the real goal of us is not to analyze the data in our platform, but correlate it into the CRM, where you have there all of the business information, and then you can really give the full solution. Because it's very hard to say, like, again, what was the end result of each call if you don't have the business information. And I don't think we should now start collect from CRMs all of the business data the other way around. We should push the data in there, and like from what we are trying to do, at least as a strategical move from our company, we are trying to give all of those dashboard and all of those extra data through the CRMs and through the other vendors, partners that we are working, which have all of the business data. But we do have a great dashboard. You will later, anyone that want, welcome to come see it. We are in booth 662. Another thing that she was saying that actually is important to mention, that like all of those body pics, all of those video analytics, outside of conversation, outside of that, I can give like 2 different use cases where we are having with pharmacy chain, in which one thing that we are doing is that when you are going around a specific product on the aisle, we will trigger and you will see that you stop for a specific time, we will trigger a dialer that will give them a promotion over the speakers of the stores on the specific revenue, most revenue product on each line of product in the store. Another thing that we are doing for the stamp chain is if we are seeing that there is some of the cashiers on break, and there is then there is line on the other cashiers, the system automatically will call to the speaker and ask this cashier to come back to her desk. So yeah, generally there is a lot of very interesting application that can be built there, and it's really up to us as a community to build the infrastructure to supplying those. Welcome. Anyone else, or you are all really want to go to eat? Food. So thank you very much, guys. It was a pleasure speaking with you. And bon appetit.